Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with only one Butterfree was a quick one. Let's follow that up with the first Gen 5 run I've done in over a year. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Black with no new moves? When I say no new moves, what I mean is that I can't use any moves in battle except for the starting ones of whatever Pokemon we're using. Gen 5 has tons of move variety, so I think this is going to be the most interesting no new moves run that I've ever done. We should be catching new Pokemon between most gyms, and isn't that the most interesting part? Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so if this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I think this should go pretty smoothly, since Gen 5 is pretty good about giving you Pokemon with good moves near the gyms that they could beat. On the other hand, if we do end up having to overlevel, then it's going to be a brutally long challenge. Overleveling one Pokemon in Gen 5 is slow, but having to overlevel a whole team in Gen 5 is what caused my only ever 1 week gap in these challenge uploads, so I'm a little bit nervous. Let's explain the rules. I'm not allowed to use any moves that my Pokemon didn't have when I caught it. If it has empty move slots, I can't stop it from learning moves as it levels, but we won't use any of those new moves in battle. I can learn HMs to use outside of combat, but I can't use those in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. No need for the Pokemon randomizer on this one, so let's just get started. Right away, we pick Oshawott. We're not going to be using it very much, but we still need to pick it so that we can get Pansear for later. This early bit isn't too eventful, so let's just rush ahead to Route 2. Time to make our first catch. First, we want a level 7 Patrat? I've been told it's not Patrat. Apparently it's Patrat. I think Patrat sounds better. Anyway, it's got Tackle, Leer, and Bite. We probably won't keep him for long, but he's the best thing that we can catch right now. By the way, I'm probably gonna say some Pokemon names wrong in this one. Gen 5 was like well after I stopped watching the anime, so I haven't actually heard a lot of these Pokemon names said out loud, and those of which I have heard said out loud is probably by other YouTubers probably getting it wrong, so hey, it happens, cut me some slack. Anyway, after grinding it up to level 10, we quickly take out Bianca on our way into town. In the Dream Yard, we picked up our Pansear that we get thanks to having Oshawott at the start. It's got Scratch, Leer, Lick, and most importantly, Incinerate. Finally, a little bit of type coverage. It pays off instantly, as Incinerate makes pretty short work of Charon's team. Let's go to the first gym. Because we started with a water type, we're fighting a grass gym leader, so naturally we have Pansear for this. Patrat was pretty much just here to help soften up his team, and it worked with us getting a victory on the first try. Next is the normal gym, but we're gonna need to do another Charon fight. It's basically the same matchup as before, so no real problem. Time for some new Pokemon. Outside the Pinwheel Forest, I go ahead and try to catch Sock and Timber. Timber is level 16 and has Focus, Bide, Low Kick, and Rock Throw. We mostly won for Low Kick, although we might get some mileage out of Rock Throw. Sock is level 17, so that he has Double Kick and Low Sweep. None of these fighting moves are amazing, but they should be enough for the normal gym at least. Before that though, we have to fight N. This battle really isn't hard, we just throw our team at him haphazardly. I don't think we'll have to carefully approach the rival battles until at least after the 4th gym. Normal gym time. It was actually super easy. Our fighting moves made really short work of our whole team. Normally this is a rough one, but no, this went fine. Now, we don't actually need any new Pokemon for the Bug Gym right now, so it's mostly just traveling and fighting trainers. At the Bug Gym, we had a super easy time thanks to having a decent answer to his whole team. Leavanny could have been a problem because Pansear is pretty underleveled, but thanks to a crit, everything worked out fine. Alright, time for another 3 rival fights before the next gym. First is Bianca. We had a good answer for her whole team other than her starter, but we were able to brute force our way through just fine. Right after that, we have to fight Charon. For once though, he was actually easier than Bianca. Let's go get some new Pokemon. On our way through the desert area, I made sure to catch Sandile and Dwebble. Dwebble has Sand Attack, Feint Attack, Smackdown, and Rock Polish. Smackdown will be good for flying types. Sandile has Torment, Sand Tomb, Assurance, and Mud Slap. They're not good ground moves, but at least it's something. We do have an electric gym coming up. Time for another N fight, and this one is brutal. Sigilyph is a real pain. The only reliable way to take him down that I could find was by sacrificing Sock by having him take out Sigilyph's speed so that Dwebble can finish him off. The problem is, he takes out Sock in the process, and we need him to do decently against the rest of N's team. That means I'm gonna have to level up Sandile a bit as a fix. After leveling up a few times, we were able to use Sandile and Dwebble to take down Sigalith. Thanks to them, we were able to use Sock to take out the rest of his team. The Electric Gym is normally a brutal one in these runs, and this time is no exception. After quite a few losses and the first real grind of the run, we ended up winning with rock throws, smackdowns, and sand tombs, and eventually some brute force by Sock. This is actually the second major battle of the game where we didn't win first try, with the previous end fight being the first one. Being underleveled is probably starting to really catch up with us. Okay, before we can catch another Pokemon, we have to fight Charon. He was pretty easy though, we had pretty good answers for most of his team. I think that it's the next Charon fight that might be hard. Well, would you look at that, it's new Pokemon time. First, we go ahead and catch Vanillish outside of the cold storage. It's got Avalanche, Mist, Taunt, and Mirror Shot. Mostly we want this for Avalanche, although Mirror Shot's not bad. After that, I run over to Route 6 to pick up a Deerling in the dark grass. That way, it's got Leech Seed, Feint Attack, Takedown, and Jump Kick. It might not be the most direct solution to anything, but it resists ground moves and it has a fighting move, so maybe it'll be good in the ground gym. Speaking of, now that we have those, ground gym. It's funny, I thought I'd need ice moves, but Sock just pretty much ended up doing the whole fight on his own. I tried having Deerling fight for a little bit, but Jump Kick missing just hurt us too badly. Still, easier than expected, and it was a first try. Before we can move on, it's time for another Bianca fight, but once again, it's super easy. We just throw our team at her and win on the first try. I even totally misclicked and used Mist for no reason at the end. It just didn't matter. Now that we have access to Charged Stone Cave, we have new Pokemon to catch. First, we get Clink. He has Gear Grind, Thundershock, Charge, and Bind. Mostly, we want him for Thundershock and because Steel resists flying. We also pick out Dynamo. It's got Spark, Charge Beam, Thunder Wave, and Tackle. Charge Beam could be really nice in the Flying Gym. And before we leave the cave, we do have to fight N another time. This is always a particularly easy battle, though. Sock himself was pretty much able to handle everything on his own. I probably didn't even need to use Sandile here. N likes to use whatever Pokemon are local to his area, and Sock can handle everything here just fine. So the next stop is the Celestial Tower, so I make sure to pick up a level 29 Litwick. This is actually our first party member who will for sure keep till the end of the game. It's got Flame Burst, Will-O-Wisp, Imprison, and Hex. That gives us solid fire and ghost moves going forward. With that done, it's time for the Flying Gym. This wasn't a hard fight, but it was a reasonably messy one. Dynamo leveled up a decent amount in Celestial Tower, but is still only about on par with her team, meaning he mostly just took down Swanna. We ended up winning the fight on the first try, mostly just to throwing our underleveled team of misfits at her until we won. I really look forward to upgrading the team soon, cause it needs some help. Before we can do that though, it's time for yet another Charon fight. This one was super easy though, Sock swept most of it. You know, I really wasn't planning on keeping Sock for this long, but he's shockingly reliable just with a low sweep. Now that we have Surf, I go to Mistralton Cave to pick up a Woobat. We could get them sooner, but these ones have better moves. We need to get a level 28 one, because at level 29 it would have gotten rid of Heart Stamp, so this actually took a little while to look for. It's got Heart Stamp, Imprison, Air Cutter, and Attract. This is probably going to be one we keep the whole game. In Spiral Mountain, I make sure to pick up Drillbur from a Dust Cloud. These things are super strong, so it's a keeper for sure. Ours has Dig, Hone Claws, Slash, and Rock Slide. This is actually a pretty good moveset for a no new moves run. Plus, it should evolve next level. Last before the Ice Gym, on Route 8, I got Palpitoad. This is going to be our main water type. It's got Mud Shot, Aqua Ring, Uproar, and Muddy Water. Another solid moveset. I can do something with this, especially Mud Shot and Muddy Water. Those are the Pokemon we needed, so next is the Ice Gym. Litwick has evolved into Lampent at this point, so it actually went really smoothly. It feels good finally setting into our final team. With all this done, there's one last Pokemon that I think I'll need, and that's Sawsbuck. We catch one in the dark grass outside of the Dragon Spiral Tower in winter. It's got Jump Kick, Aromatherapy, Energy Ball, and Charm. It's nice to finally have a proper grass move. Before we can move on, it's time for one last Bianca fight. Stoutland was first, so we had Sawsbuck kick it down, although we took a lot of damage in the process. For Emboar, we sent out Seismitoad and nearly one-shot him. He almost finished himself off with takedown, but he hung on and healed with a full restore. After going back and forth with her heals and our Muddy Water for a while, we took him down. Lampent took down Simisage in 1 hit, followed by easily taking down Masharna in 2, winning the fight. Before we do the Dragon Gym, I decided to go north to Route 10 to get the Dusk Stone. It's important that we get this before the Dragon Gym, or we'd have to fight Sharon too. We use it to evolve Lampent into Chandelure, who's probably going to be the MVP for the Elite Four. Alright, time for the last gym, the Dragon Gym. Chandelure ended up just blasting through them with Will-O-Wisp and Hex until Haxorus brought out Seismitoad with Dragon Tail. So we just hit Mudshot a bunch of times and he just never stopped using Dragon Dance, so we won. Maybe he's programmed to use Dragon Dance until his speed is high enough, no matter what? And because we were lowering it, he just never seemed to stop using it. That's my theory, at least. Now, before we can go to the Elite Four, we do have one last Charon fight. Unpheasant went down easily with Rock Slide, and second was Simipour. We were able to take it down with Sawsbuck, but not before being burned and losing most of our health. For Superior, we nearly took it down with Flame Burst, took huge damage, then finished it. Normally I'd use Sawsbuck on Liepard, but it's burned from earlier, so we just ended up overpowering it with Excadrill for the win. Looks like we're almost ready for the Elite Four. On our way through Victory Road, I decided to stop and grind for a while by the doctor. Some of our team is pretty underleveled for this last bit, and our moves aren't optimal. I caught up our team to level 50 before moving on. Alright, after getting to the gate of the Elite Four, here's what our team looks like. I think that overall it's decently balanced considering the restrictions, although we only have 5 Pokemon. There's nothing that I can find right now that I particularly want to use. Maybe I'll throw a Sock on the team just so we don't have Reshiram forced onto our team by the end of the game. I know Reshiram isn't against the rules, but it kind of feels cheap, you know? Make your final guesses on if we can win this run or not. Let's do this. First is Ghost Trainer Chantel. Cofagrigus got overpowered by Seismitoad at the start, and second is Jellicent, so I had Sawsbuck take it down with Energy Ball. Sawsbuck resists Surf, so it was a safe matchup. For Chandelure, I sent Seismitoad back out. We took quite a bit of damage from Shadow Ball, but one Muddy Water took him down. Last was Golurk. I sent out Chandelure to hit Hex just to go down to Earthquake. I sent out Swoobat, but it went down fast. That's when I remembered that Golurk is part ground type, so I finished it easily with Muddy Water. I mean, I did damage with Muddy Water, technically he finished it with Curse, and I know, I should know that Golurk is ground type, but I can't help it. It's like how I keep thinking that Venomoth is flying type, even though, like, Pokemon Blue came out when I was, like, 8, and I've been playing it ever since then, so I know what a Venomoth is. Venomoth just looks like a flying type, so I forget that I can use ground on it, and Golurk just doesn't look like a ground type to me. The second is Psychic Trainer Caitlyn. Reuniclus, probably its name, is first, so we whittle it down and take it out with Chandelure. Masharna ended up being a one-shot, probably because of the crit. Sigalith came out and quickly took us down, so I sent out Excadrill to take him on. That's when things got bad. Gothitelle comes out, and we don't have anything to take care of it since Chandelure is down, and she ended up destroying the entire team. Mind you, this only happened because of her full restores, but we're gonna need to come back stronger. After coming back with a few more levels on Chandelure, things go more or less the same other than actually losing Chandelure even sooner. This time, though, I brought in the terribly underleveled and out-of-date Sock. Why? Because he can't get one-shot because of his ability Sturdy, so I used him to land some low sweeps to lower her speed. After that, the rest of the team was actually able to finish her off. Third is Dark Trainer Grimsley. This dude was actually really easy. We had a pretty strong counter for everything he had. Fourth is Steel Trainer Marshall. First was Throw, so we took it down with Swoobat. We did take massive damage off Stone Edge, though. For Sock, we did decent damage, but naturally was finished off, so I just had to brute force the rest of his health down with Chandelure. For Conkeldurr, I burned it with Will-O-Wisp, somehow survived a critical Stone Edge, probably because of the burn cutting his attack, then finished him off with Hex. Last was Mineshaw, and although it did massive damage with its moves, and fainted a couple of our Pokemon, we were able to overwhelm it the moment we landed a hit. With them beat, Ends Castle's arriving. It's time for the last 2 fights of the run. First, the last battle with N. Zekrom is first, and considering it's a box legendary, you'd think it'd be crazy dangerous, but his Giga Impact didn't do much. He wasted his first turn using Light Screen, and so we got 2 digs in to handily take him down. Second, I sent out Sawsbuck because it says Kling Clang, but I remember this trick. He misses Focus Blast, we nail a massive jump kick, and it turns out it's actually Zoroark pretending to be Kling Clang. It's a good thing that first Focus Blast missed, because the second one almost took us out. With him down, I sent out Chandelure for Vanillux. 1 Fire Burst melted it, so for Caracosa, I sent out Sawsbuck. Energy Ball did massive damage, but he can't get one-shot because of his ability Sturdy, so he took us down. That's fine though, Seismitoad was faster and able to finish him off. Second from last is the real Kling Clang, who is a one-shot with Fire Burst, and last is Archeops. I remember this thing being quite the monster, so I went for Will-O-Wisp, but he one-shot us first. Thankfully, Seismitoad was tanky enough to take a few hits, so we won with Muddy Water. Last is Getsis. First is Cophagrigus, so I have Excadrill trade shots with it until it faints. It's far from a perfect answer, and we still only won because of Rock Slide causing a flinch, but at least we got him to waste a full restore. For Hydreigon, I sent out Sock so that he'd survive a hit with Sturdy, low sweep to lower his speed, then hit him again now that we have the speed advantage. Once we fainted, I sent out Sawsbuck to easily finish it. I'm really happy with that strategy. It's cool that Sock is still so useful. Seismitoad is next, so I just hit it with Energy Ball, surprisingly not for a one-shot. We survived a Sludge Wave, then finished him. Next is Electros, and I always forget this guy is pure electric with Levitate. He looks kind of water-typey to me. Anyway, I tried to keep Sawsbuck out, and did a bit of damage, but he knows Flamethrower, so we went down. With no clear great move, I just sent out Chandelure, hit Will-O-Wisp, and easily finished him with Hex. For Buffalant, I sent out Seismitoad, hoping for accuracy drops on Muddy Water. We went down in 2 head charges, but did decent damage. Back out to Chandelure, who was able to finish it with Flame Burst. Last is Bisharp, but he's a Steel type, and we have Chandelure. So 1 critical Fire Burst took him down, and won us the run. It was really cool going back to Gen 5. It still took a long time to do this run, but at least a lot of the battles didn't take too many tries, and we got to use a lot of Pokemon and moves that we don't normally use. I want to give a huge thanks to my friend Leela, who helped massively with the research for this episode. Honestly, if it wasn't for her helping me figure out what Pokemon to look for, I don't think I would have had the time to do this run. It requires a ton of research. You don't just need to look up every Pokemon and figure out where to get them. You gotta figure out what level do they have what moves. Can you catch them at that level? What individual trainers is that good for? It's a hard run to do. Anyway, I really hope you guys like that run. For next Saturday's Pokemon Challenge, we're going to be doing Pokemon Red with only 1 Diglett. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments in the challenge request section of my Discord channel and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges that I've already uploaded. If you want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend What a Geek and I have done randomizer playthroughs of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, Red and Blue, and now we're doing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire over on his channel, linked in the description. You can also watch myself, What a Geek and Gooseit playing Pokemon here on my channel. We've done Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon X, and now we're doing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. Also come to my Twitch streams and tell me that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.